time now to zoom into our news review segment where we'll look at some pressing issues in our country. Now, I've been joined here by Paul Eric Ofori, who is Head of Research for COPEC. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Hi, Fema. I'm doing well, and I hope you're also doing well.
I'm well, thank you. I'm still waiting for my
birthday.
Thank you very much.
It's going to come. Don't worry. You have it.
No, COPEC, you people are very forward-thinking, and you predict right. So if you say it's coming on national television, it is coming. We won't drag it. Okay.
You will definitely have it.
No, I believe you. And I also have here with me Manchester United's Jeffrey Kabuto Kanzi, who is Executive Director, Revenue Mobilization Africa. Hi.
Yes.
I'm not surprised you are in black this morning. Don't tell me that it's for Gamania because we are done. The Thanksgiving service was done. It was black and white.
I am so gone, and I'd like to first of all say a rest in peace to my queen mother and all the people who supported, not only Ghana, I mean, majority of the people who were speaking expressed their condolences, and it was a befitting burial for a mother we had so wonderfully. Because, like I said, in the Ghana state we say Due, but then for all of us we will say Ablikumaba Kumao. You know, we always, in the Ghana system, we have this saying Ablikumaba Kumao. We believe that there's no stranger in the world, everybody else comes, and then when they come around, you join us to form a big family. So, you know, we welcomed all the condolences that came from other people. But, well...
there's no but.
Jeffrey,
there's no but. Let's face facts.
You hold on.
You lost to a whooping 3-0. You were thrashed.
Eric, he hasn't finished.
Why is he not admitting?
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, but continue.
Admit that
it's
you
lost. It's always
lost.
important to let history guide you.
Yeah.
Because what happened just this morning, early this morning, is also history. Because the minutes
Which
roll
is
by.
that?
So history has it that Manchester United, we've triumphed over Citi over the years. So sometimes, you know, when you are draft, sometimes in a tree land, we go like, only
why are you whining?
Over to be a shedding same.
Jeff,
so at a moment like this, I would like to say, once I'm mourning, I would still be happy that the young ones like Manchester City, Liverpool, will be joking with the titles while we sit back.
How philosophical?
No, but it's good.
You guys explain.
I'll go ahead and mention the boxing thing. I heard you. Yes. You were sad for the.
Please, don't change the subject.
But
Jeff, don't change the subject. You see, when you lose,
one will say on that note,
when you lose,
what about the other
attempt to explain yourself? You find
you haven't making the
somebody was asked what is a rabbit.
Explain your, but you were explaining.
And he said that
rabbit. Brother, you lost. Did you or did you not lose?
We lost to a better.
So accept the fact that you've lost. You've been thrashed.
But the boxing one, like I was telling you, the boxing one, I was surprised. You were surprised that he lost.
The goalpost.
In fact, a gentleman who boxed a champion down, I was standing there dancing. If he was furious enough, look, I didn't have any regret for his loss. Because look, if he was furious, do you know who trained the gentleman?
You that you are furious enough. What have you done for your team?
No,
let's go.
Mike Tyson was you know the shame. You know the shame.
See,
Mike Tyson is a gentleman. Mike Tyson is a gentleman. Groom this guy. He was supposed to be waiting for the gentleman after the count to give him what? They rejected blows. Like we will do to City. Look, we will do to City the next time. This after this go down, when we come up.
Anyway, so we go over, you know, we are still on the Akosombo Dam spillage, you know, and the devastating impact that is caused, you know. Are you back home now?
Yeah. Oh, but the Akosombo spillage is my issue.
Okay. So let me talk about it and then we'll explain. Right. Are you okay?
Right.
Okay. Right, so compensation for Akosombo Dam spillage victims not negotiable. This is coming from Okudzeto Ablakwa, who is also in the middle of this whole devastation because his people are deeply affected. Now, the Member of Parliament, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, has stressed that a compensation package for victims of the Akosombo Dam spillage is not negotiable. Ablakwa said the destruction caused by the dam spillage is so widespread and devastating that the only option is for the government to include a compensation package in the 2024 budget, which is yet to be presented to Parliament. Now, there's a quote, he said compensation is non-negotiable and we are uncompromising about that. So you get all the stories, details of the story, the Citi newsroom. Now, also on the dam spillage, we have the Action Chapel coming in to donate to the Citi relief for the victims. Now we have the Archbishop himself speaking. He says, I was moved by the suffering of the people, Duncan Williams, on why he supported the hashtag Relief for Lower Volta campaign. And it reads the founder and general overseer of the United Denominations of Action Chapel Churches Worldwide, Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, says he decided to donate to Citi TV and Citi FM's Relief for Lower Volta campaign after seeing photos and videos of the devastation in places affected by the Akosombo Dam spillage. On October 20, Bishop Ebenezer Obodai led a delegation to present 50,000 Ghana Cedi check on behalf of the Archbishop Duncan Williams and Action Chapel International in support of the relief campaign. The eminent Archbishop Duncan Williams in a sermon disclosed that he called one of his bishops and his director of finance and asked them to make provision for the relief because he could not withstand seeing the suffering of the affected people on Citi TV. Eric, I'll start with you. The Akosombo Dam spillage, where how it's come about, where we are, the various relief supports, that have been launched to support the victims. I mean, the Archbishop and the Action Chapel donating to the relief for Lower Volta, and also Citi deciding to build some relief centers as well. And the call by Okudzoto Ablakwa for compensation to be factored into the 2024 budgets. Your thoughts?
Thank you, Frema, and once again, good morning to viewers and to the people of Ghana, and especially to those in the affected areas. We still stand by them, and then it's our prayer that the good Lord will come through for them. Over the past 2-3 weeks, the discussion have largely centered on the spillage, from whence we've come till this far.
Yeah.
And clearly, we haven't seen anything concrete on the part of government as far as this whole relief thing is concerned. And one would have thought that being the central government, they will be at the forefront championing, as it were, some form of relief for these victims. We are told in excess of about 39,000, almost 40,000 people have been displaced for something that is no fault of theirs. Yeah. I do not see why I should be in my home, and by somebody's negligence, I have to move away from my abode and in fact live in the open, facing mosquitoes, reptiles, what have you. The devastation that we have seen over the past 2 weeks is not something that we should be proud of as a nation. This was something that was preventable. This was something that was avoidable. And I think that if all actors had come together, I do not think that we would have seen the sort of devastation that we saw, on pictures, videos, and what have you. Quite apart from that, I think that we must lay the blame at the forefront of the VRA. If the head and, of course, management of VRA had taken their time, communicated effectively and efficiently to these people in excess of about 40,000, I'm not sure we would have seen what we are seeing. I will also join calls that indeed the head of VRA steps aside, he steps down immediately, for the sort of havoc that has been wreaked on these people, these innocent victims who, by virtue of the action of VRA, have had their education cut short. Look at the health implications, some of them with skin diseases developed over the past 2 weeks. Innocent victims in 8 districts, not even one. So the lives of citizens, must be our top priority as a nation. Listen, like I always say, we have been more, if you like, reactive rather than being preventive over the period. And the lip service here and there is one too many. It is time we put our hands to the wheel, and get things done. I heard the NADMO boss saying that all the victims are going to be compensated. When? It's been 3 weeks. We haven't seen anything concrete on the grounds as we speak. It's been individuals donating left, right, center. And we have also seen churches, supporting here and there. I see Citi FM, moving a step further from just the items that were sent to these victims to constructing what is called shelters for these people. These are the sort of things they need. They need a place to lay their head. They need a place to be a little comfortable. They were in their comfort zone, and somebody's negligence led to they moving away from where they were to where they find themselves. Mm-hmm. It's a challenge that they are going through, but hey, the people of Lower Volta, we are still with you. We are going to join hands in championing for your the package to be brought to you, and we will also add our voice for the 2024 budget to have you included, so that even if it's not done, we will join legal aid in pushing that they get what they deserve.
Joining legal aid to
we'll
push for what they deserve. Jeff, let me come to you.
Yes.
One thing that we did not think about, when issues like this happen, everybody is thinking of where are the people going to live? What about the schools, the children, pregnant women, hospitals, and all that. Now, last night when we watched CNR looking at Fred Duhu's report, what about the dead? And I think that was it Caleb? I'm not too sure, but one of the reports. The dead, the cemetery is flooded, but people still are dying. People need to be buried. And so now people have to bury their dead in their homes. This is something that we did not think about. Okay, but that is the sad reality. So there are bits and pieces of details that will not readily come to the fore. But these are issues that we need to deal with. Have we considered the health implications of all these? And the fact that people need to be on smaller canoes and attend funerals, put a coffin in a canoe. I mean, this is very worrying, very frightening, putting the lives of the living also in danger. This is where we find ourselves, calling on compensation and more relief support for these victims.
Well, I find the whole issue very heartbreaking and painful. It's very unfortunate. But I'll tell you what, if there's enough evidence to show the technical hitches that this was a matter of persons not playing their roles very well, then I'll say this one is a very callous decision to have taken to just spill water to endanger the lives of fellow citizens. But early on in life, my great-grandfather was a victim when the Akosombo Dam was built. He was a canoe carpenter, so he was living along the Kpong waterways, and then they had to be relocated. So for this reason, he migrated from Kpong to Adan. So, my family lifeline has been along that waterway. Coincidentally, VRA also employs a lot of my cousins as well. So, I mean, it's a mix of feelings when it comes to this whole issue. And I'm married to the former CEO of VRA's daughter. Okay. So VRA, and the resettlement office is in my area, 3 houses away. So
in other words, you are VRA.
For VRA, I have.
You are shareholder of VRA.
With the resettlement issues, I have a little knowledge about it.
Okay.
And it's for the reason that when it started right from my great-grandfather's time till now, there was the importance of keeping the resettlement office, that resettlement department. In all these, I've heard little about their resettlement office coming forward to lead this process of how to resettle the people in such a dangerous time. So, I mean, I can look at it as a matter that, I'm asking at a technical challenge. The engineers must explain to us, when there is no water in the dam, we follow up to show how it is going down and down and down. And so when it was rising, where were the engineers? And did they have anything to measure from upstream, what could add to what? The reason we school people is not only for them to come and tell us what happened, but how they are managing what is happening. If there was any better forecasting system with the technical issue, Freeman, you should have been speaking with me how it was managed. At level 2.8, they did this, and that's what we should be discussing. Not the fact that they just spilled the water, and that we didn't even have detailed information on how we got to that level. The water couldn't have risen in just a day. I'm not challenging nature, but I'm saying there was a strategic rise that they could have followed to help us. Now, with the government response, I think the president's comment was very unfortunate. That he's there just because, he had to be. That comment alone also brought some political divisive discussion And then people started doing politics with a serious matter. At a point, there was a withdrawal of the military. And then Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa came in speaking. That was a very serious matter because at the time, Citi was on board. They were sending goods there. So if the military boats were leaving during the daytime, I was wondering how they were expecting those of you who were going to do the good service to humanity.
But on that score, you know, they also came out to say that there were other places, and we know every now and then we get to hear of new communities that have not even received any relief because we don't even know that they were also affected. So the military said, okay, so we were also leaving to other places as well because we were withdrawing from, is it?
From one. So I will not even mention area names. But I'm saying, I'm standing here. I need support. And then you tell me you supported me for 1 hour. So you are going to the other side. So that the rest of us who were going...
But should the other people also die?
Well, you see, that I'm saying it's an emotional thing. So I can understand you. So this is where I didn't see the other side, where they were calling for it and didn't get it. But I saw one side where it was leaving. So as the pictures presented to me shows, that's why I'm speaking to it. And I'm saying the politicization of it was unfortunate, but it also exposed government's weak emergency response. You know, and then we go to the issue of the citizens' response. Then it's not because I'm sitting on the Citi platform, but I'm telling you, I was overwhelmed by what people were doing. I was like, you know, do you people, if you force me to speak, I'll tell you, let's relocate the NADMO offices here.
No, not yet.
No, we cannot have people, we cannot have individuals respond like soldiers, and then the people who are trained and fed and uniformed and equipped were sitting there on media speaking with me. They were speaking in your media spaces, in your television spaces. They were speaking, and you were acting. I'm saying your colleagues were calling on corporate institutions, and you were giving me updates of what you were doing to solve the issue. And they were sitting there telling me what the problem was.
But it's not more equipped.
That's the question I wanted
to ask. So NADMO had to wait for the thing to happen, to come and tell Citi FM that they were not equipped. And when even it happened, let me ask you this. The man who should have acted was telling me problems on the day of casualty. And Citi FM, who was supposed to report to me, was on the grounds quickly calling people to come. If they had learnt a little from you, they would have been coming to us with the fact that they are now, because of the unavailability of equipment, they are now speaking with party A and B. But they were telling me the problem. Look, let me tell you what my late boss told me about problem solving. He doesn't want to hear problems, the expansion of the issue. He wants to hear water is not flowing. So Freeman and Jeffrey are on their way to fetch water. That is a step. Whether they got the water or not, there's a step. So the next thing I'll do is actually look at how people were calling for the state of emergency. Citizens, when they were calling for the state of emergency, it's like you are calling that, look, if mommy can't solve it, mommy, call auntie and call uncle and the rest of the people who can help. There are countries. You remember when there was this American collapse of the building?
Israel came in to help.
What is pride when you are in trouble? What is pride? What is pride when you are in trouble? People are dying, people are suffering.
But the government itself see that there was a problem. We have an issue, so let's call for help. I mean, from how it happened.
So let me go on and thank Citi FM. Sorry, Citi TV, Citi FM, or your auxiliary efforts that you put in there. Let me thank Ibrahim Mahama for taking his machines there. Action Chapel. Let me thank them now for the way forward. Let's strengthen our technical systems, the detection machines, and then the personnel to be on the alert at the VRA offices. This shouldn't happen again. Let's learn from it. When I went to Kenya a few days ago, anytime I get into Kenya, I ask, because of Westgate Mall attack, when you go to an Airbnb, you have to leave your ID card before you visit a friend. They've learned so badly from that experience, and it is living with them. That is a country that learns. That is a country that learns. I wonder if we will learn from this one. Now, let's improve communication, like my brother said. Who spoke to who to live where? Before this happened, what discussion did we have? When it happened, Citi took the lead and they were here telling you troubles and stories. But when the signs were on, did they speak to people to move? What did they do about it? Let me tell you, the next one is to improve our emergency systems, the support systems, NADMO, national security. You know, let's get to help them. Let's depoliticize these issues. These issues are national issues. whether you are NDC, you are MPP, you are CPP, when the water is submerging your house, the water won't ask you whether you are MPP. So let's be very smart on that one. When it comes to the national security, I want them to report on this matter. Yeah. This flooding matter is a security issue, human security issue. It's a very serious security issue. So we should look at it. Now, when you look at what we are discussing right now, let's take advantage. Fema, when the water is not flowing, there's trouble. Hey, big Ghana, when the water too is flowing too, we have trouble. What group of people are we? What do we want from God? What do we want from God this morning? I'm asking Ghana, what do we want from God? When God takes back his water for a little while, we are crying. He gives you more of the water, you cry. Let me tell you what we should have done. Along these waterways, long ago, you see Kwame Nkrumah created Africa Lake in Accra. Just dredge and create that artificial lakes. Yeah. Create dams so that when the water fills up, it will just flow into these ones. You do tourism and agriculture with this one. The three things that this country, the three sectors that this country needs to groom: agriculture, tourism, and construction. ILO did the research, and I was part of the people who saw the report. And I loved it. Look, agric. Just dredge the place. Fishes will go in there. You don't need to go and put it in there. And then people will come and be on that lake. A quick bite there. It's an artificial, the biggest artificial man-made lake is in Ghana. And people will come and watch it and pay you money. You know, that one too is a problem. A couple
of weeks ago, David and I were in Cape Town, for this wine stuff. And I mean, you'll just be angry how people have been able to, optimize the chances with agriculture. This is agriculture.
No, the same country that was able to see that a Bank of Ghana building that is sitting down, people are working in there, which is sitting next to a Supreme Court, next to a Ghana Commercial Bank. In the same area, they renovated the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum at a huge amount. The same people who thought that there was an emerging earthquake or a tremor and located a new office at the cost of over $250 million, they could not detect water rising to come and kill people.
Now, my issue right now is, you mentioned the engineering work that we need to do. Now the water is there, Eric. How do we even get the water out of the communities? Last night in CNR, there was also another report where Paramount Chief was trying to create channels, just so the water can find its way to the lagoons and other bigger water bodies. But really, the people who caused it, VRA government and all that, what are we doing? People are stuck in their homes. The waters are just stagnant. How are we getting the water away?
Thank you, Frema. Frema, like I said, those to champion this, or those who should be at the forefront, championing this, should have been NADMO. But let's all be honest to ourselves. Within the various districts, the 8 to 9 districts that have been affected, really, what sort of resources do these districts officers have to mitigate what these victims find themselves? They don't. And even if we come to the regional level, we don't. National level, we do not. And so unless and until we begin to retool the National Disaster Management Organization, I believe it will always be the lip service. So government must be deliberate about retooling and resourcing NADMO to be able to, mitigate some of these issues that may come up. I mean, we can't be concrete about things that will happen in the next 2 years, or even 1 week. Anything is bound to happen. All right? So the best thing is to be prepared. Let's push a bit of our resources and get NADMO retooled. Again, let me commend Dredge Masters, that's engineers and planners, for the initiative to, as it were, desilt and dredge some of these blocked ways, pathways, and what have you, by virtue of the spillage. I am also on this calling on the National Association of Engineers to, I believe some of them have even visited the place. We should have a strategic plan going forward. Anytime there's supposed to be a spillage, what are the likely outcomes? What are the possibilities? How best can we mitigate, So almost all the stakeholders must come together and kind of find a solution that would be long-lasting and not just any short-term measure issue. I mean, we've had this spillage since 1965.
Yeah.
And time immemorial, we have victims, we have people being displaced. And this is by far the largest devastation that we have seen in terms of the spillage. In excess of almost 40,000 people displaced. Health issues, education, what have you.
Yeah.
So the way forward, I believe, is for these engineers to come up with a solution that in the next 10 years, this is what we want to use any form of spillage from Akosombo to do, whether irrigation, whether what have you.
Right.
Maybe rechannel the water into some form of
Yeah.
reservoir that could be used for something else rather than the sort of devastation that we have seen.
Right, so
you
the
know.
call is still on. The victims of the Akosombo Dam spillage really need our help, and so we still call on all to support. For us, we believe that we've gone beyond just sending relief items to them. Let's now find them a place where they can safely and securely lay their heads.